Check, 1, 2.
Hello.
1, 2, 3, go. All right. Hi, my name is Kendra.
I'm Olivia.
And I'm Lindsay.
And this is our music Oddcast. And today we are going to be talking about the theories of Keanu Reeves either being immortal or being a time traveler. And for those of you that don't know, Keanu Reeves actually has had a music career. So
it counts for this.
It totally counts. Like, maybe I'm in love with him. It's fine. But take it away, Olivia.
Keanu Charles Reeves was born on September 2nd, 1964 in Beirut, but ended up spending most of his formative years in Toronto, Canada. He is Chinese-Hawaiian on his father's side, and his mother is from Essex in England. So, fun fact, his name actually translates to cool breeze over the mountains.
I feel like that's really great.
It fits his personality, too,
Yeah,
I think.
he's a pretty chill dude. It seems like cool breeze over the mountains.
His mother, Patricia Taylor, worked as a performer and eventually a costume designer. She met Samuel Nolan Reeves Jr., who was a geologist, while they were both working in Beirut. His father was imprisoned in Hawaii, and I couldn't find a time for this when he actually was, for selling heroin at Hilo International Airport.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah. He struggled with drugs and alcohol and eventually abandoned his wife and family when Keanu was 3. He still saw him and his older sister Kim occasionally until he was 6, and then the last time he ever saw him, I guess, was when he was 13 years old. His father has said in interviews that he tried to, continue a relationship with him, but I guess after a certain point, he wasn't interested anymore. But you never know. Sometimes those are, taken out of context or, someone lies. So they lived in Sydney for a while, in New York, and finally Toronto after his mother married Broadway and Hollywood director Paul Aaron in 1970. They divorced a year later. She then married music promoter Robert Miller, and they divorced. Yeah, they divorced in 1980, and they had a daughter, Karina. Yeah,
so I'm really good at deciphering your handwriting. Yeah.
That would be that would be the name of the day.
Keurig.
Yeah.
If it was Keurig or carving, that would be the name of the day.
Yeah,
but
I know. I keep waiting for
me to get excited about something. I feel like I'm like, wait.
So then after they divorced in 1980, she married her 4th husband, who's hairdresser Jack Bond.
It's kind of a cool name.
Yeah.
Is that our
James
cool name
Bond.
person for?
It has potential.
Okay.
It has potential.
We'll keep going.
Bond is always good.
Yeah.
But it's not James, but it starts with a J, so I'm feeling it.
Yeah.
But there could be something else. We'll see.
We'll just have to wait.
That marriage ended in 1994. And his father actually had a daughter. She was born in 1980, and her name's Emma. And he didn't know that she existed for a long time, I guess. But they have a relationship now. So he went to 4 different high schools. One was actually a school for the arts, and he was expelled from that school. It's due to being rambunctious and mouthy. It's funny because you don't really seem to be like a mouthy guy. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it'd be kind of difficult to get.
I mean, like, he's been in action movies,
that's
so
what you
it's
would
like,
think.
obviously he's got some rambunctiousness to him.
Yeah. So I guess he played hockey, and he thought about trying to get on in the Olympic team from Canada, but then started taking acting seriously at the age of 15.
Nice.
He began acting at 9 in the production of Damn Yankees, and then at 15 was in also stage performance of Romeo and Juliet. He dropped out of high school at 17 and moved to LA when he was 20. He acted, his kind of acting debut was in an episode of Hanging In, and he did a couple commercials, including a Coke commercial, and then first movie was actually Young Blood in 1986.
That was the year I was born. There's no return from 86. Okay, sorry.
And I was watching an interview that he did with Jimmy Fallon. He was talking about how when he first started out, his agents wanted him to change his name. Yes, I didn't know.
Oh, that was so funny.
And he's like, I looked out at the ocean. I'm like, what's my name? Like Chuck Spadina. So that's what
they wanted to name him?
I can't remember if it's like that's what they decided or if that's just like what he came up with.
Yeah.
But obviously it didn't.
But it almost
Chuck
happened.
He
Spadina.
does not look like a Chuck.
No.
Because every time I think of Chuck, I either think of like Chuck Bass from Gossip Girl or Chuck Norris, the all-time badass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh man, I would love to see Keanu Reeves and Chuck Norris versus each other in a film.
I know. That would
be
I would
a
watch
dream
that.
lineup.
What's Chuck Norris up to now? Like, is he
Just being fucking
like,
amazing. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, maybe he needs a little like research.
Kicking ass and taking names.
So, now talking about his band, he met Robert Mailhouse in 1991. at a supermarket. I guess he had on a jersey for a hockey team. And they started talking about hockey and then started hanging out and playing music together. And then Greg Miller joined the group in 92. And he was the lead guitarist and original lead singer. I don't know if I mentioned, but Mailhouse was the drummer and Keanu played bass. So the original band name was Small Fecal Matter. Yeah,
that's funny. I think one of Nirvana's original names was fecal matter.
Something
I'm pretty
like that.
sure.
Yeah.
And people are all about the scientific definition of shit.
Yeah. And then it was Big Fucking Shit, then Big Fucking Sound, and then finally Dog Star. And they got
That's a huge leap.
I know.
It's like, let's just talk about poop, but then also Dog Star. Like, what?
Yeah.
Should it be small shit or big shit?
Yeah, I feel like they really
Big fucking shit.
started off as small shit, and they got to big shit, and they're like, who shits the most? Dogs. Done.
Well, I guess they got the name from the Henry Miller book Sexus. So, and Mailhouse actually picked out the name. So, Brett Dom, I'm really struggling tonight. Domrose joined as an additional vocalist and guitarist in 1994. And the band started touring the U.S. and Asia. They opened for Bowie in Hollywood at the Hollywood Palladium.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and they played some originals and then I guess some covers of Pink Floyd. It was funny because when I was writing everything down and like, going through the research, I thought it said that they did Bon Jovi covers, which really cracked me up.
That would be funny. Like, that wouldn't make sense in my brain.
But they actually played, they toured with Bon Jovi in New Zealand and Australia
Even
in 95. It's funny because while they were working on their music and touring, he was in, tons of movies around that time. He was in, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, Bram Stoker's Dracula.
I was going to say, that was like...
Was that like...
Speed.
Yeah, I was going to say Speed.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that was like his breakout role. Like, he'd been in like Bill and Ted and stuff like that, but like Speed was when we were like, okay.
Yeah, like
I want to watch this guy kick people's ass.
Yeah. And then like 95, Johnny Mnemonic and Walk in the Clouds, Feeling Minnesota, and then Devil's Advocate 97, The Matrix in 99. So
yeah, The Matrix. Like, I feel like he said something, like there's like an interview where he was basically like, I have enough money for like centuries.
To live the rest of his life.
Like centuries, like crazy.
yeah, if you invest well and don't.
But also like
live
he was
way
in the
beyond your
fucking
means.
Matrix.
I know.
Like,
And also that-
that's insane.
And that quote is supposed to be part of the proof that he's a time traveler, but...
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Yep.
So they released a 4-track EP called Quattro Formaggi in 96.
Oh, I really like that dish.
I know.
That's like what I order when I get Italian. I get the gluten-free quattro formaggi.
What's that?
It's
Four.
It's basically like a 4-cheese, like Alfredo-ish type deal that's like delicious and creamy and all the things that I like that I shouldn't eat.
Sweet.
Yeah.
So they were on Zoo Entertainment. That was the label. Their first album called Our Little Visionary was released really soon after that. They continued touring and playing. So that was only distributed in Japan, I guess. But they continued playing, and then looks like the Z Awards in India in 96. And then I'm going to butcher this, but the Zouam Dock Rock Festival in Belgium and the Glastonbury Festival in Somerset, England in 99. They made an appearance as a band on the movie Me and Will in 99 and then released their second album, My Happy Ending, in 1999, which was produced by Michael Vale, Bloom, and Richie Zito, who worked with Art Garfunkel, Cher, Elton John, Diana Ross, Eddie Money, and Heart.
Nice.
I know.
So, funny story, just a little sidebar. I used to date a dude for like 5 years, and his dad used to be like the touring guitar player for Eddie Money. Just random.
That's cool.
Lots of fun
Yeah.
stories with that.
I've accidentally seen Eddie Money in concert twice, like
Oh
in
my
the
God.
same day, because I was in Santa Cruz and they would have like these free boardwalk concerts. And like the day we went to the boardwalk, it just so happened that it was Eddie Money. So, and it's like right in the middle of everything. So it's kind of unavoidable. And that was like the matinee. And then there was one later and I met up with my friend there and we were walking on the beach. And then when we were trying to come back, we like got stuck in the Eddie Money crowd. And we're like, okay, I guess we're just going to stay here for a little while.
Oh man, I feel like I've seen Chance the Rapper 4 times, but like I didn't, like it wasn't planned.
That's
Yeah.
much cooler though.
No, but it's like funny because it's like I never really listened to him before, but he was like playing all these music festivals that I was going to. So like I caught his set the first time, like definitely intentionally at Pitchfork like a couple years ago. And then a friend of mine was like running some festivals in Chicago, so she's always like hooking me up with tickets. And so I watched him like ring in the new year with Skrillex. It was like super random, like 2016 or something. And then like he just like would pop up for cameos with like people that worked on his album at like all these festivals that I was at. I was like, man. And everybody was like, oh, I really want to go see Chance the Rapper. I'm like, I've seen him 4 times and I didn't even try. Like, it's so awesome. The humble brag.
Yeah, no, mine wasn't a brag. It was just like, this is a weird thing that accidentally happened.
I don't think there's anybody that I've seen like that, a couple times, not on purpose.
Yeah, I feel like music festivals definitely make that like more of a thing.
Yeah, just as you're passing
or like
through.
because like people will do cameos at specific ones. Like I think a lot of people do cameos at like Pitchfork and like bigger ones like that.
Yeah,
but because it's like got the cool vibe to it, so it's fun.
So this is kind of a sad side note, but he started dating Jennifer Maria Syme in 1998, and then in 1999 they found out that they were pregnant with their first child, who was stillborn on December 24th, a little girl named Ava. And then sadly, Syme was killed in a car accident in 2001.
Which is like crazy because she was leaving a party at Marilyn Manson's house.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then okay,
Who
this
is
is
she?
like
Is
this
she,
might
like-
be like hearsay. This might be hearsay. So like just noting that. Don't kill me on the internet. But it's only funny because I have like these really conservative Christian clients that have nothing, like they have no idea about Marilyn Manson.
Yeah.
And they're like, but they love like action movies. They're telling me all about like, oh yeah, so his girlfriend like died in a car accident leaving Marilyn Manson's house, and then this new John Wick movie, like they use this Marilyn Manson song as a theme song, and we just thought that was so special. But it's also like these people like homeschool their children because they're like very religious and stuff.
Yeah.
But they're like talking like really great about Marilyn Manson. I'm like, do you know?
Have you seen any of his videos?
It's so good. Like, do you know what his like tour was called? Like, it's just so amazing. I love it.
Who is she? Is she like somebody famous or just?
I don't know.
I didn't know. I didn't know if she was like an
Probably should've
actress or
looked it up.
something. But
I'm gonna like
it's really
double
sad.
check that just to make
Yeah,
sure we
or
don't
like
have to edit
model or
it out so I
something.
don't sound like an asshole if I'm like completely wrong. But yeah,
Yeah.
just a little tidbit.
I love some of the stuff you talk with your clients.
Dude,
I
like,
know.
I have the most random career. Like I'm a hairstylist, so I hear random shit all day, and like a lot of it's probably not true. So like I feel like I'm just constantly filled with all this useless like maybe bullshit all the time. Like, and then I'll figure out like 5 years later that I'm like, that motherfucker lied to me. And so I'll have thought that these things were facts forever, but I'm also very gullible. So
You
I
should
feel like
start
I'm
making
gullible,
note
too.
of these things, and then we can look them up to see if they're
Yeah.
proven, and then we can have a podcast.
By the way, I did talk to a coworker and I explained the Little Miss Spin Doctors incident. And I just want the world to know, validated. She remembers. And she's like, oh my God, I hate them too. Like, yeah, like that one time it was like around New Year's and on WM. Yeah, for sure. Like, so she totally remembers that. She's like, yeah, every time I check, like for an hour, I kept on clicking back to the radio and it was like still that same fucking song. And I'm like, yes.
So there was one night, it was just a couple weeks ago when I was out and you were out, and I went to the jukebox and I was going to play that song with all 4 of my credits just to fuck with you. But
That'd be amazing.
they only had 2 Princes. Did I play 2 Princes? Yes, but only once. So
It's like that like thing like of like playing the Boys Are Back in Town on the jukebox all night.
Yeah,
Just
yeah.
to like mess with people. Like one of the best internet stories ever. Okay, sorry.
So then I was like, but what am I going to, I was like, oh, that'd be really funny. But like, what am I going to do? Talk to the owner and be like, hey, like your bar is great, but you really need more Spin Doctors on the jukebox.
But the thing is like if, like with the brass rail, like you could probably like
Yeah.
just talk to Corey and be like, so I want to troll Kendra more. I need you to add this song because like for a year, every time I went in there, I played the Flash Gordon theme song. So people were like really mad at me. So I feel like you could probably get away with that. But I also like, why did I just tell you that? Because then I'm just gonna be mad.
It's not going to be a surprise.
I mean,
I might do it to you in like 5 years.
People
or
already
something.
do that with like Pearl Jam anyway, so like a Pearl Jam song will come on and everybody will just like look at me. I'm like, God damn it, I'm going outside for a cigarette.
A cigarette.
Cigarette.
Did we talk about how they just played in Fort Wayne recently?
What?
Spin Doctors? Yeah, I think they played.
Wait, how did we miss that?
I think
Where?
they played at Sweetwater.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
I
And I'm
maybe
so
made
glad
that
I
up,
didn't
but I
even know
think they
about it.
did.
I'm
Yeah.
so
Wait,
glad.
are you thinking of no, I saw something the other
pretty
day
sure
that was
they
at Sweetwater. It wasn't.
Well, it wasn't like the other day.
Check.
Oh, that's really funny.
Okay, hang on.
Yeah, we're all like trying to Google this now, so you guys have to like hold
make
on.
sure we didn't miss this.
Just know like The hate
All
runs
right.
deep. Like, that's the only song I really truly hate by them. But, like, it just gets under my skin.
Okay, guys.
Showing like new shows, but not.
Yeah, no, we need the past.
I know.
Okay. No, because I just saw this and I remember thinking that it was funny.
I just, like, typed
I
in
swear I saw that they did.
May 17th.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not making up, like, so you just have to know what to Google. So I
Yeah.
just said spin doctors at Sweetwater, and it's
Oh,
like
okay.
May 19th. Here were the
Okay,
ticket sales.
see,
yeah.
I didn't Google that specifically because I
Yeah,
thought for
I
sure
just
it was
said
somebody
their tour
else. It was like something kind of along those lines.
Well, they've had a
but-
lot of bands like that recently.
Yeah.
It's like Sweetwater Music Hall, but then like something's like saying that California.
Huh.
Oh.
I have no idea, but I know that.
I think that that sounds right though. The time, because I remember I either saw something online or maybe heard somebody talking about it.
that's funny.
Yeah. Anyway, back to Keanu.
when I
Longest
googled spin doctors Fort Wayne, first thing it came up with was Fort Wayne laser therapy, like a medical center.
Tight.
Like,
That's exactly what we're looking for.
okay. Anyway,
Yeah. So they, after releasing that album, they continued playing for a little while, but then had their last show in Japan in October of 2002, and then broke up after that.
I feel like that would be a high note to go out on because
Yeah.
like bands like have a really good time in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it seemed like, their first album did really well there and they had a good fan base. He, around that time too, he also filmed The Gift, which I love. I don't know if you guys have ever seen that.
Yeah. It's really good.
The Replacements, Hardball, Sweet November, Matrix Reloaded, and then starts to go like after breakup, which is Animatrix, Matrix Revolution, Something's Gotta Give, Constantine also loved, and then Thumbsucker. I thought that was a good one too.
It was
Oh, yeah,
Scanner
I forgot
Dark.
about
He was
that
in a
one.
Scanner Darkly
Like
too.
right after that. I think it was 2006 or 2007.
Yeah, that was a good one. It's really like it made me uncomfortable. I'm like, I'm really glad I've never like done meth or something because it made me feel like maybe that's how it would feel. Like
I agree with that. I had to
yeah.
kind of watch like little bits at a time because it also bothered my eyes.
Well, it's like I know it was like by the same like production house like they did like Waking Life and
Yeah.
stuff like that, which is great. And then like I watched that, but I was like, I feel like I'm on like a bugged out trip or something. And it was
did.
like, but like also I appreciate that if they
Yeah.
can make you feel like weird.
Really uncomfortable.
Yeah, I love movies that do that. So I definitely own that movie. I'm like, it was weird. I don't know how I felt about watching it. Let me buy this.
I end
need
up
to
buying
watch
a
it all the
lot
time.
of movies like that, especially if they're marked down. I like can't turn down a marked down movie, even if it's something that I like haven't even seen.
I always go to the like used movie section
Yeah.
at places. Like I have like a stupid DVD collection. Like I like literally
too.
sold when I moved. I sold like probably like 200 movies.
Oh damn!
Like
Yeah,
I'm
really
like
big
a
VHS
I'm like a
collection,
media
too.
file.
I'm glad
Like,
I didn't know about that because I probably would have bought a bunch of.
oh my
movies.
god, yeah! I sold like I had an entire bookcase of like VHS tapes, but like to the point where they're stacked not like sideways, where it's like, oh yeah, like here's my classy little collection. No, like they were like stacked, like
Yeah.
Yeah, you had a
vertical.
shitload.
Yeah, I still have like 150, but I had like probably like 400 or 500.
I got rid
So
of.
you'd always find good stuff at thrift stores. And
yeah.
That might be a little high. It was probably like 300.
I got rid
don't
of
know,
like
it might be
most of
more
my
than that.
movie cases, which I felt it really bothered me doing that, but just they were taking up so much space, so I like put them in a binder and then just like saved my favorites, and those have cases still. And
legit.
there's like a bunch that are just like stacked up in a box.
I'm like the person that will like sort through them every like 3 or 4 years and sell the ones that I'm like, I'll probably never watch that
That's a good
again.
idea.
And then I'll just like buy all these other ones. I'm like, I've never heard of this, but it's foreign. I must buy it.
I started out, trying to organize them by like, genre, and then, kind of in order of like which ones I liked and then didn't care that much about. And then by the end, I was just like sick of it, and it's just like a bunch of stuff thrown together.
It's legit.
I feel like that's how I get about most organizing projects.
Yeah, I tried to Marie Kondo my house and it just did not. Like it took me like 6 months.
My house is constantly Maria Kondo.
I made it through a dresser, and then that was about it. I was done.
I got rid of 4 carloads of stuff.
Yeah.
I still have like 3 garbage bags to get rid of too.
I used to get rid of a lot of stuff when you would have those like clothes trading parties.
Yeah.
I remember bringing like bags and bags
I'm
of
gonna
stuff.
do
and, like,
another one
cleaning
of
out
those,
my
but like I
closets.
don't want to like host it. Like I
Yeah.
will host it, but it's like I always donate the. So for what you guys are probably like, what the hell are they talking about? Like I used to have naked lady parties, is what we called them, and so it'd be like everybody go through their clothes, get rid of the stuff that they don't want, bring it over to your friend's house. everybody like swaps clothes and like you just put it in this giant pile in the middle of the living room and everybody's trying stuff on, hence the name.
Yeah.
And it was great. And then like everything that was left over would be like so many garbage bags of clothing, and we just donated it to the women's shelter, which is pretty cool because like there's like some nicer stuff. Like you're like, oh, my friend might like this designer dress or whatever.
Yeah.
But then it's also great because it's like, oh, nobody took that, but maybe this girl can wear this for like a job interview or something like that. So it was like really cool, but I'm also like really lazy. So I just haven't hosted it because I'm like, that means I have to clean my house. But then I also like have to figure out like every time I host one, like I have those garbage bags of stuff sitting in my house for like 3 months. So I should probably do it again. We'll see.
Yeah.
I need to get motivated. All right, sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine.
Sidetrack over.
So after breaking up, they did record a song called Shine. It was for the Mr. Big tribute album in 2004.
There's a Mr. Big tribute album.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the one who wants to... Like,
Yeah.
like that Mr. Big?
Yeah.
What?
I didn't look to see who else was on it, but...
I have no comment. I'm just going to giggle.
Also, that song they had... You remember when Wendy's, like, rebranded and they had, like, Hot Wendy in the commercials?
Oh, yeah.
And stuff. They had... It was when they had the pretzel bun hamburger, which was really good, but I don't think they have it anymore. And it was, like, this... the commercial for it was, like, a music video where, like, Wendy's, like, playing a piano or something. She's like, I'm the one who wants to. It's like she's singing that, but she just replaces some of the words with pretzel bun. Like, pretzel bun, I know you feel it too. It's really stupid. That's all.
I totally understand about serenading cheeseburgers. I might have 2 or 3 songs on recent recordings that I've done that are love songs for
That's
cheeseburgers.
totally fine. I'm just like something that's like on national TV. I figured
Right.
they might have come up
like
with
no one's
something
gonna
a
hear
little-
my songs, but like that's legit that they did that for a commercial. I don't remember that, but I also haven't had cable or like watched like regular
Yeah.
TV in like years.
It was
So,
a while ago.
that's tight. I respect it.
They also made an appearance in 2005, dramedy Ellie Parker. So, haven't seen that, but...
I've legitimately never listened to Keanu Reeves' band.
Same.
I
Can we
listened
get
to it a
on
little bit when we were...
Spotify?
We'll probably put one of the songs on the end of this.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Or we could put that song, the Mr. Big song.
Can we put the pretzel bun version?
If we can find it,
Yeah.
we can maybe like cap it at the end with that. Yes.
Oh my god.
But I want to hear Keanu Reeves' band.
Yeah, we can listen to it.
I could leave it. It was okay, I guess.
Yeah,
Some of their
probably not
stuff
like
is a little
any
bit
of our
better.
style, but I
Yeah.
respect that he was like, yeah, like I'm a movie star, but like I really love doing this, so we're gonna just keep on doing it.
Yeah, the recordings
cool.
I didn't
It's like
think
what
sounded
David
that
Duchovny
great,
does too, I think.
but I did see like a couple. There was like some just shows that they had at friends' houses that I watched some of the videos of, and they sounded better live.
That's
So,
awesome.
Yeah, they could have been a really good live band.
Like I know like Johnny Depp also plays guitar too. Like he's done like
He's been
stuff
in a
with
couple
Shane
bands.
McGowan from the Pogues.
Yep.
And then now isn't he touring with Richards? I can't think of his first name.
Keith Richards?
Yes. Oh my God, why couldn't I think of his name?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and a couple other people for
Because they're
the
starting
Hollywood
to look
Vampires.
like father and son.
Yeah,
Tight.
I think Keith Richards might look better now.
So I was like reading this AMA on Keanu Reeves, like from Reddit from like years ago, and it said that Keanu Reeves like he sat with Flea from the Red Hot Chippy, yeah, Red Hot Chili Peppers for a bass lesson once, and got like some nice inspiration from him. So I'm like, okay, so like he definitely takes it seriously. I can
They
respect
toured
that.
with Rancid and Weezer also.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Weird.
Oh man, that'd be fun. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
Yeah,
Like
even if his band wasn't that great, I still would watch Keanu Reeves probably do anything.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. Like he's definitely like on my top 3
Oh yeah, same here.
of like famous people. I finally figured out my number 2. So a couple weeks ago, we did a podcast and like we were having the conversation afterwards, and I mentioned that Keanu Reeves was my number 3, and I was questioned pretty severely on like, wait, well, who's your number 2 then? And I didn't have it picked out, but I have it. Like number 1 is Jet Li, for sure.
Yes.
Number 2 is Neil Gaiman.
Yeah.
It's
Who
like
is that?
he's the author of like all the things like Sandman comic books, Good Omens, American Gods.
Yeah.
He's also married to Amanda Palmer, but they have an open marriage, so there's still hope. And then Keanu Reeves is definitely number 3. But I feel like
those are pretty good picks.
yeah, I feel good about it. I feel like Keanu Reeves would be like the one that I'd probably like. Yeah, I don't know. Like I'd probably date him in real life, and I need a little bit more fantasy than that. So for it to be like on my like hypothetical, like I'll never meet these people in my life. Yeah. But I'm like, oh, but everything I read about this guy, I'm like, oh, that is like totally my type. Yeah. So I'm gonna shut up about it now because he's never gonna listen to this. But if he does, he'll be like, oh my god, that girl's fucking weird. Stop it. Just stop it.
He's probably used to a lot of women.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Or there's like that video where somebody's like, do you know that you're the internet's boyfriend? And he's like, what?
Yeah.
Do you remember that meme? Like before there were really even memes? I feel like that was kind of one of the like original, the sad Keanu one.
Yeah.
There's even the holiday, it's Cheer Up Keanu Day, which is June 15th.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
I love that.
And it's because of that meme, the sad Keanu.
That's funny.
Yeah.
It's like pretty chill. Mm-hmm. Okay, so let's talk about this conspiracy.
Yes.
Okay, so did it just start out with a couple of old paintings that look like him?
I don't.
Is that how it started?
I feel like that's how it originated.
There's one from 1540 and there's another from 1875. Those 2 paintings that people are always...
There's a couple, like, and like it's like one of them is like the furthest back one is him as the oldest.
Yeah.
So it's interesting because there's a couple theories where people are convinced that either he's immortal, so potentially a vampire, or that he is a time traveler, which the immortal one, on that same Reddit, Ask Me Anything, he denies being immortal.
Yeah.
Of course.
But if you were immortal, would you admit it?
Right.
Like, no, I'm just like, oh, like that's my son. Oh, I'm going to move away now. Yeah. Oh, and then my son's taking over like my stuff. It's like, like there's so many ways to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and put that out there. Like, what if we had like a Highlander scenario going on? There can only be one. Like all the immortals have to like kill each other.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Like, have you guys watched this movie?
Oh, no. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's
I
so
actually
good.
just watched it recently.
So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you should probably watch the movie. It's amazing.
It is.
It's so amazing. It's like, there can only be one. And then they like kill
Sean
each other, and it's like
Connery's in it.
lightning and shit, and it's so tight. And it's just like,
Shit.
Sean Connery has a great role. It's like, oh, like that's a good friend. Like they were immortals, but they were like buds, you know. But they all somehow knew, like after they couldn't die, they're like, wait, there can only be one. Like like they never really went into like why there could only be one.
Yeah,
in
they
the
don't
movie.
explain. He just
But it's like I'm not mad about it.
There was funny accent stuff going on with the movie too. I don't know the name of the main actor. Do you, by chance?
Like I'm blanking. I can IMDb it really quick. Though.
Yeah, well, he was doing. He tried to have the Scottish accent, but he failed miserably at it. I think
Totally
he was
bad.
Like,
Totally
I think
bad.
he might be like Danish or something. And then Sean Connery was trying to do a Spanish accent, which he did a little bit better at, but it was just funny.
So they have the Scottish guy trying to be Spanish.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah. We didn't talk about what we're drinking.
We are drinking Blake's Hard Cider Pacific Jam because Keanu Reeves likes red wine, but 2 out of 3 of us cannot drink it. And one of us prefers not to. So we're like, well, berry cider though. But apparently his cocktail of choice is a Jack and Coke. But I didn't feel like buying a bottle of Jack Daniels.
No.
Yeah,
So,
I don't really like whiskey.
yeah, I'm not really, I can't really do it.
I've tried.
Too much
And
gluten.
how are you going to win his heart if you can't do red wine?
I know.
Well, I mean, like, I feel like he'd be sensitive to understand my food allergies.
Right.
Yeah,
Like,
you're right.
True story. Like, the last 3 times I've tried to have red wine, like, I've had to leave parties, like, after, like, literally half a glass and, like, not drinking before that. And I used to live in this neighborhood where I was, like, on, like, the shitty street. Like, it wasn't, like, shitty. It was a nice place to live or whatever. But there was like these giant houses like 2 blocks away from me. So I'd be like driving home and be like, oh man, I'm feeling so rough, whatever. Like, and I like wouldn't even finish a glass of wine. So I'm like totally not drunk. And I pulled over in front of these like beautiful, like almost manors and just puked on the street. And it's like I'm like walking my dog by this house every day, and like they know who I am, and I have freaking pink hair, and I'm just like pulling over, like in front of this like beautiful home with like, you know, like the giant circle driveway, like huge, like one of the nicest houses in the city. It's like, so yeah. So that's me in red wine.
I think I know what you're talking
Like on Oakdale. Yeah. It was really funny. So it's like all these beautiful homes, and I'm like constantly just like it was like the summer of like discovering I'm allergic to red wine. And it was like definitely there's just like nasty red puke down like this beautiful street full of like all these like gorgeous homes. This like punk rock chick just and then like driving like because I couldn't make it the next block over to get home. My life. And Christopher Lambert was the star of.
Okay, so there's the two paintings, and then there's also Charlemagne, who lived from 748 to 814. His son was crowned before his death, and his burial was hurried because they may not have had
mysterious.
And then the other one is Paul Mounet. He lived from 1847 to 1922. He was a doctor and then an actor, and his body was never found. So those are the two that they think.
Yeah, those are the main ones, and it's very fishy.
And he doesn't look like Charlemagne at all.
I don't think he does either.
Of them, but that one.
But like one of them is like aged.
But you would just wonder how good the artist was that completed.
Yeah, like I don't believe in the immortal thing, like because it's like he looks older in one of the paintings from like the earliest one, like the one from like the 14 or 1500s. He looks like an older man. In that one, and also like the eyes are off. I don't know, but also it's like maybe that's like the artistic integrity, dude.
Like, speaking of artistic integrity, this is kind of mean, but I thought it was really funny. Like I saw something online that was like Adam Driver looks like somebody tried to draw Keanu Reeves from memory, and I was like, well,
it works.
That's really funny. I also think Adam Driver is attractive.
Oh yeah, absolutely, absolutely, yeah.
Yes,
YOLO.
And then the website that I found that had kind of the rundown on the time traveler conspiracy. They also had a selfie of Tupac that was apparently taken in 2011.
So like that would kind of like go with the older thing would potentially be like the grandfather paradox.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So as far as like time travel goes,
it's like you go back in time.
Yeah. So it's like you would go back in time and kill like your parents or like ensure that you were never born. And then you like live forever. There's like so many different theories on it, but it's only really taking place in fiction. Mm-hmm. So like, of course, like I nerded out on this because sci-fi is awesome.
Yeah.
There's so much about time travel that basically a lot of physicists and like all kinds of people that are like working on theories and with time and relativity and whatever, and like the fact that time is a construct, obviously, and like potential fourth dimension things going on. The only like thing that they're like actually working towards proving anything with it would be like it would definitely have to take place like off Earth.
Right.
You would have to be going faster than the speed of light, obviously. So like that's a real thing. But
they said that
everything that they've done with the research I don't think there's any way that the human body could survive it.
Yeah. So what I read is that they would have to go faster than the speed of light to go back in time, but if you want to go forward, you just have to have like a good fraction of the speed of light, I guess.
Which makes sense.
Yeah. But so you'd leave in a spacecraft, travel really fast, and then turn around and come back. So that however many years have passed. But
so it's like funny though, because it's like with the time travel stuff, like it's still like an open book. Like it's like for where we are with science right now, it has not been proven at all. There's no real consensus on it. Like the only thing that they've really discovered is that like if you travel for a length of time and space at a really high speed, you age slower than people on Earth.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which is legitimate. So they've done like experiments with that. That's the only thing that they've really proven with time as far as space travel goes. But like, and so all the legitimate research would involve outer space. But then I'm over here like a huge Doctor Who fan. So I'm like, what about the TARDIS? Like, does Keanu Reeves have a TARDIS? Because that would be tight. So maybe he's in movies on other planets too, in different galaxies. Who knows?
Could happen.
Or maybe that's how he trains and is so badass all the time. Mm-hmm. I don't know.
If you guys heard the story of Keanu Count Saint Germain? Okay, he's another guy that he kept appearing throughout history. He was an alchemist. He was a musician, and into the arts, science, and tons of different sightings of him showing up like in different times. So he's kind of the same story. It's a really interesting story if you have time to look into it.
Is he around still, or is this like a older?
No, yeah. They say that he was born, or they think that he was born around 1691. Pretty cool though.
The heyday for like the alchemists were it's like more like the 1500s too.
Yeah.
Like late 1500s, early 1600s, I believe. But maybe like a little bit earlier than that too. I don't know. I think it's fascinating. It's like really sad though, because like alchemists, it's like they didn't really understand that like they're just trying to turn lead into gold, but like lead poisoning.
Yeah.
And also a lot of mercury poisoning. Like just like all the chemicals that are like, oh cool, and they're like making these like really neat experiments with it. Which
like
definitely led
terribly.
Yeah, they all died terribly. Like with the Robert Johnson episode, we were talking about that. Like, like the dude like totally like blew himself up and was like mangled mess. But they're like, oh, but that was Satan. But it's like, no, actually that was science.
Yeah.
But it's fine. It's fine.
Did you guys ever see Predestination with Ethan Hawke? Oh my God, you guys have to see that. Yeah, it's. I don't want to give it away, but it's kind of like a time travel.
That's fun.
Yeah. And sort of what you're talking about, the grandfather paradox. Really cool story. Great acting too.
Yeah, I'm like looking back through these articles that I found, and it's like, yeah, most of the time travel stuff is definitely unproven. Like there's the wormhole theories and all that stuff, but like, and I'm like looking up like genuine like scientific articles.
Yeah.
But then like the rest of it's like, oh, but here's it in fiction.
Physics.com.
One of my favorite theories for like immortals though, which isn't like really a theory, it's just like a fun representation, is back to Neil Gaiman. Swoon. In the Sandman comics, he has like just random people that are immortals throughout the series, and it's just like they just kind of keep it casual, like they don't die, but they're just like, okay, low profile, whatever, which would explain like if Keanu Reeves had enough for centuries. But also it's like, dude did The Matrix and Speed and John Wick, like of course he has enough for centuries. Like dude's a legitimate movie star.
Yeah, and like that quote that they were using as proof, it's just like, see, he's preparing for so many more. And I'm like, and the other thing that I thought was kind of weird is, you know, they just kept talking about like, oh, he doesn't age, and I mean, he's definitely
clearly
aged.
aged.
Like,
Yeah.
I don't, like he looks
there's
very well.
3 of those photos, which are like so good because it's like from like Bill and Ted times, The Matrix, and then something like it, like in the
John
Wick or whatever.
Yeah.
So funny because he really does not look like he's aged that much at all.
Not that much, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
he looks great. He's like in his 50s now.
Yeah, he looks
amazing.
Yeah, no,
So-
totally. But you know, he's definitely got kind of a more like rugged, sort of weathered look to
Yeah.
him. Like he's not as, you know, baby faced.
Yeah, but it's still incredibly attractive.
No, I am not. I am not denying that.
Yeah.
Hello.
But to say that he's actually ageless, I'm like,
Oh, another thing that I found out from the AMA thing, which I'm like just really glad that I really nerded out on that because I'm like, oh, I want to know all about you. I'm in love with you. His like, they're like, what's your favorite song? It's like, today it's Love Will Tear Us Apart by Joy Division, and I was like, yes,
That's a good choice.
yep.
that's a very
I feel
sad
like it's-
Keanu song.
But I also don't feel like it's
I
really
would go with
reflected
the
in his music though.
Yeah.
The music that he plays is definitely not Joy Division. Damn. Because I love Joy Division.
Wait, who
just
was the
got an
actor that
Curtis
had that like
biography.
goth band?
Ryan Gosling.
It was Ryan Gosling.
Oh,
okay,
Dead
what I was-
Man's Bones.
That's what I was gonna say, but I was like, no, I don't think it was.
That was actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Like they would like tour in places that had like children's choirs that would like do the performances with them and stuff.
He does not seem like he'd be in a band at all.
Well, did you ever like watch Blue Valentine?
No.
Because like he has like a really cool singing voice.
Okay, I didn't. Maybe I did.
He plays piano and he sings and stuff.
Yeah,
I think
that's
I
a hard
turned it on
movie
and
to
then fell
watch.
asleep.
It's like this is way too just like depressingly realistic.
Yeah, the rough breakups.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
Pretty authentic though. I don't know. What's your favorite Keanu movie?
Oh, that's hard to say. I don't know if I have a favorite. I like Constantine. I know. Like I said, I really like The Gift. Mm-hmm. But that's, I mean, his part's so, I mean, he has a good part in that, but it's you know, minor. It's mostly a Cate Blanchett movie. Devil's Advocate's good. But yeah, Bram Stoker's Dracula is great. I can't say that I have a favorite. Love John Wick.
I love the
The
John Wick
Matrix.
movies.
I haven't seen
Yeah.
any of the John Wick movies.
Oh my gosh,
They're
it's
good.
like general synopsis.
Oh yeah, no, I know what it's.
Like his wife dies of cancer, and her parting gift is a puppy, and then these assholes come and rob him and kill his
Theon
puppy.
Greyjoy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's definitely Theon
Alfie
Greyjoy.
Allen.
Yeah. But you're like, oh, I already hate you. Like, but then I liked you
love Theon.
eventually.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know. It's sad. Yeah, he like goes and kills his dog, and then like dude just snaps. He's like, "Fuck y'all! Like I don't care if you're like a crime lord's son. I'm like one of the top assassins in the motherfucking world." And then he just murders everyone. It's so awesome. Like it's everything that I've ever wanted in an action movie times 10. And they call like the directors are like, it's gun fu. It's so fun. I love it. Like I was raised on action movies and sci-fi, so he's like definitely been in both genres a lot. So he's been I'm a huge fan.
Yeah, me too.
They're like, oh, like he just doesn't speak much. I'm like, do you understand what's happening? Like he's not supposed to.
Yeah.
This dude's so scary that he can like literally just answer the phone, not say a word, and people are like, what did he say? He said enough. like he didn't say anything. He just hangs out.
He said enough.
He said enough. Like, yeah. That would be my dream. Like my dream job would be to be a voice actor.
Oh, at first I thought you meant that your dream job would be an assassin killing everybody.
Well, that actually, yeah. Like, but I know it's too late to be like a ninja.
Yeah.
Like I feel like the level that I would want to accomplish, like I would have had to start when I was like 5.
Right. It's kind of like how I tried to take ballet, but I didn't start till I was 12. And I'm like, this isn't going to work. Everybody starts this shit when they're like 2.
Like I definitely would be into like taking lessons, but I also feel like there's specific things that with my body that I ruined from like dance and from basketball and stuff. Like I blew up my knees like so long ago that like I know I can't be a ninja master, which is really sad. I would love to know kung fu. I think about it a lot. Like before I turned 30, I kind of went through like I think it was like when I turned 25, I went through like a quarter life crisis. And I was like really contemplating like selling everything I owned and just moving to China and seeing if I could like be an apprentice somewhere.
I remember that.
To be like a kung fu master. But then I was like, because I'm like, I'll be too old when I'm 30. They won't take me. They only take like teenage kids and whatever. Like I really thought about it. Like I did a lot of research. Like I was like dealing with some things, but I was like, but if I just ran away and just like learned kung fu, it could be amazing. Sorry, I'm done talking about kung fu, but it's relevant because Keanu knows several different fighting styles, and also like he did a lot of training for that movie with a lot of awesome marksmen and has a very accurate shot. So it's pretty dope.
Say your favorite Keanu movies.
Oh yeah, I guess
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure.
Tight. Probably like John Wick.
Yeah,
I just really love those movies. But also The Matrix, like the first one.
Yeah.
Not necessarily the second or third. But the first was very fun. Speed. Yeah. I'm going to pick 3 because I can.
I remember one time when I was in high school, my dad can't hear very well, but he doesn't like to admit that he can't. So I came home, and my dad's watching The Matrix, and he's like so into it because it was, not too long after it came out. And he was watching it in Spanish, but had no idea that he was. And I was like, what did you think was happening the whole time?
Whoops. That's amazing. Perfect.
It was like they have the second HBO for a while on like Dish Network where you could watch the Spanish version, but he would accidentally watch stuff on that all the time.
So I have like
is he having a hard time following? Like, is he?
Yeah, but he doesn't admit that stuff. He's like, oh, you could still tell what was going on, but I was like, I don't know if that works for this movie, but maybe.
It's like I had this client, and she was from Japan, and she'd come to visit her daughter and like grandchildren and stuff in town. But she didn't speak any English, and I don't speak any Japanese. But like we had like a good time like hanging out when I do her hair.
Yeah,
we'd like figure it out with like weird rough hand motions and whatever. But then I found out that her favorite movies, like when she was in America, she discovered, and this woman's like in her 80s.
Oh,
she discovered that she loved zombie movies because you didn't have to understand English, and she refused to watch the subtitles.
Yeah.
So she was like always lost with movies, but she's like, I fucking get this. So she's like, and so like her daughter was like, who was my regular, she was like, oh my gosh, no, like my mom has like watched like 30 different types of zombie movies because she's like, I know exactly what's happening. This is so great. Ooh, it's scary. Like it's so funny.
That's incredible.
Like, so I was like zombie movies, and she's like, oh, like just like freaking out and like loved it. And yeah, I was just like naming off different movies, and she could understand English like well enough for that.
Yeah.
It was so funny. So, like, I guess, like, the question that remains for this is, like, are people just off? Is Keanu Reeves a reptilian overlord?
Like, forget all the time travel.
Like, fuck that. Like, but it could be explained by him being a giant reptilian shape-shifting lizard.
Yes.
Like, so is he a giant reptilian shape-shifting lizard is the question.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't either.
I don't either, but even if
He's
he
too
was,
kind.
I'd still be into him.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
gonna
same
say
here.
he's way too nice for
Yeah,
that.
he's got too much compassion for humanity.
Which is apparently another proof that he's
A time
immortal
traveler?
and all that. They're like, oh, you know, he could only acquire all this like
All the knowledge
wisdom and
and
kindness
compassion.
through several lifetimes of. And I was like, he's probably just a nice guy.
Yeah.
Isn't it terrible that we're so used to like
Assholes.
actors being
Like, the
horrible
worst people.
that like if they're actually a nice person, there
musician.
has to be some crazy explanation
Right.
for it. Like
That's
it can't
true.
just be that they're a nice
It's
guy.
like, oh, they've like actually taken in life lessons and they have compassion for humanity. Like, they
no,
must be an
supernatural.
immortal. It's like, no, like
Amazing.
that's no, like they're just a human being that is like comfortable being a human being,
Yeah.
not a shape-shifting reptilian overlord. Although, like, really hope that this sparks the conspiracy that Keanu Reeves is a
It
lizard
could.
person.
He has two charities that I always slap my paper, that I didn't talk about. They're cancer, or for children with cancer. One's called Sick Kids Foundation, and the other one is Stand Up to Cancer. I guess his sister, Kim, struggled with leukemia for quite a while, so
That's awesome.
I know.
I mean,
Like,
that's
everything I
not
read about
awesome
this
that she
guy
had
just makes me like
leukemia.
it more.
Right,
No,
But it's really
I-
cool.
I know what you're saying.
Like, he has a lot of philanthropic stuff.
But he doesn't attach his name to any of them because he doesn't want, the publicity. He doesn't want people to know that it was
Yeah,
him.
I was gonna say I've heard of both of those.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
Yeah, I feel like that's why like there's all those internet threads of people like, look, found out he was the donor for this, like, and people
Yeah.
like just like talking about how nice he is. But I also think that it's refreshing that he doesn't put his name with it
Yeah.
and isn't like trying to make a big deal out of
Look how
it.
wonderful I am.
Yeah, like it's
Yeah.
not for show. It's like because he's a nice person and he's
Yeah.
just like, oh, like this is like what I'm doing, but I don't need any credit for this. I think that's really cool.
Too.
All right, so that's our Keanu Reeves
Yeah.
episode. Anything else to add, guys?
No.
You guys listening
That's
to
good.
anything or watching anything? good these days?
I rediscovered Bloodhound Gang today on my drive here, and I'm really pumped about it. I haven't like given that band a chance in forever.
Yeah.
And I was definitely rocking out. Like, not to the hits either, but there's this song that's like, lift
The
your head
deep
up.
cuts.
Yeah, like, lift your head up high and blow your brains out. Do, 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 do. And I was just like dancing in my car. I'm like, yeah, this is exactly what I need to hear right now. I'm trying to make a spring 19 or summer 19 list. Got a lot of old school hip hop on there, and then a lot of like
Enough West and Bloodhound
random.
Gang on there.
Yeah, I would definitely put it on the playlist for sure. A lot of random like ethereal like techno stuff, and then some good garage rock and whatever. So, what about you?
That's all on the same playlist.
Of course, sweet summer, bitch.
I did go to the Paul McCartney show in town, which was great.
Nice.
Yeah, very cool. Even though I think I was like 4 rows from the very top of the Coliseum, and I am deathly afraid of heights. So when I first sat down, I had to like grip like both arms of the chair, and then people kept like coming past me, so I'd have to stand up, and I wanted to puke. But after a while, I adjusted quite a bit. Just like can't move a lot.
Yeah.
Saw Rhett Miller in Indy, great show, and I've been listening to Joshua Ray Walker a lot.
Nice.
And watching, I watched the new season of Black Mirror. I don't know if you guys saw that, but was really disappointed. The first 2
Yeah.
episodes are pretty good. The third one is unwatchable. I think it has Miley Cyrus in it.
I was gonna.
I've
ask
actually
if
heard,
I
I've
watched
I've
that.
actually
Montana.
heard good things about that
So have
specific
I, yeah.
episode.
I fucking hated it. Like there was like a little
she
girl
just
that
kinda,
was
like,
pretty
playing
good. Actually, both
herself?
little girls. It was. I
Like
don't know
it's
if
a
she was
pop
trying to act
star.
really badly, but she would. Yeah, every scene, even when she was. I don't want to give too much away, but she's like a doll and herself, and or not herself, but like a singer,
Right.
But I thought both sucked. I don't know.
Yeah, just not for you.
Yeah, well, yeah, it just wasn't for me. And I mean, she's obviously talented in other areas, just maybe not that much in acting. I don't know. Sorry to any Hannah Montana fans out there.
But also, like, let's admit that wasn't like that was not going to win any awards either.
Yeah.
So.
What about you, Lindsay?
Okay, what have I been listening to a lot lately? Oh, I've been listening to a lot of John Mouse. Thanks, Kendra.
Oh, it's so good.
know,
Like the Russian Doll soundtrack.
Yeah.
So good.
What else have I been listening to? I can't think right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's kind of hard on the
I
spot.
feel like that would, like, I've been just like checking out stuff. Like, I've been watching a lot of TV. Mm-hmm. So, like, whenever I hear like a good song, I'll just like look up like the playlist on Spotify for whatever show I'm watching.
Yeah.
And I feel like I've been like finding some like key jams that way, which is making me happy.
Yeah.
I also found Elijah Wood's podcast called Visitations, which is really cool. He and this guy whose name I forget, they interview different people, directors, actors, different stuff, and they just have them tell stories, and it's pretty cool.
That sounds fun.
Yeah,
I'll
it's really
check
fun.
that out.
Yeah, I like that. And then also Legion's, the new season of Legion came out. I don't know if you guys watched that.
Okay, so here's
so
the thing.
fucking good.
Lauren Tsai is on that. And I'm a huge fan of Terrace House. It's this Japanese reality show. And she was on
House.
Terrace,
Yes,
like
Terrace House, that one.
Terrace.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
Terrace
thought
House.
she said terrorist.
Yeah, like I don't enunciate very well. I've been yelled at it. Fuck, I can't even talk. I've been yelled at about it my entire life. But yeah, so it's like Lauren Tsai is on the Hawaii season, and now she's on Legion. So it's fun. I haven't watched it, but I've been thinking
Yeah, it came
about
out
it.
on my birthday, so I was kind of excited about that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm pretty pumped about. Well, I guess I won't talk about future things because they'll already be out by the time this actually comes out. But kind of living for Stranger Things and Midsummer.
Oh my god!
Can't wait for either
Midsommar
one.
Looks so fucking, that's next weekend, I think, isn't it?
It's coming
That's
up
what I
super
thought.
soon. So
Maybe, like,
very
midnight.
excited about it. So by the
Yeah.
time we record again, and it'll probably like a month after that
Yeah.
when this comes out, we will have watched it and we will still probably be pretty hype about it.
Yeah.
So.
I just got HBO again, so I've been watching the new season of Big Little Lies, which started out really bad, but it's getting better. So,
Oh, that's good. I watched the first season.
Yeah, well, because that's like where the book ends.
Yeah.
So the second season, they're basically just doing it for. But yeah,
Yeah.
Meryl Streep, isn't it? Is just like casually stealing scenes and being Meryl Streep.
A goddess.
Yeah, but yeah, no, it's pretty good. And I'm also kind of embarrassed to admit this, but I've been watching Euphoria too.
Oh, that looked good, actually.
It's terrible. It's the show with Zendaya. It's like it's basically like
yeah.
Skins. It's like a
okay.
teenage like.
But it's on HBO, so it's probably like not super teenage.
She was in
Right.
the new
Oh.
season of OA, and she was good in that.
Fleabag.
Yes, I was just talking to somebody
Fleabag
about
is
this
really
today.
good.
Everybody keeps telling me to watch Fleabag. And they're like, "You'll love it." I'm like, "I don't have Amazon Prime."
It's so good. If you guys hear this and you haven't watched it yet, just watch it. It's the best. All right, so I think that's going to wrap it up.
Yeah.
Please join us next time when we talk about things that we haven't figured out yet.
Yeah.
So
We need to
really
do
cool.
we need to do a listener suggestion episode sometime.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, have we gotten any?
No.
Well, we haven't
but
really-
But like, I want you guys to.
I don't think we've
suggest,
heard
like-
any of our podcasts where we talk about wanting.
Yeah. Let's talk about that
listener
for a second.
suggestions.
Yeah.
Yeah, like send us suggestions. Like if you know about something like ridiculous that you think that we need to talk about that involves music and conspiracy theories,
Or if you have your own story, you're in a band and want to tell us.
then please.
Or just anything ridiculous we'll talk about.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Like we're here for it. That's why you're listening to us. Like it's fine. Just send us suggestions. We have an email.
Our
Do we?
music,
I don't check that shit.
it's our
Slide into our
musicpodcast at gmail.com.
And then also you can
And we
slide
listed
in
on our Instagram page too.
Yep, our Instagram is Our Music Oddcast, and you can slide in them DMs.
Yep.
Do it.
And we're gonna upgrade the logo. So thanks to Andrea Atwood.
Yes.
And thanks
So-
for everybody putting in their votes.
I know, that was fun.
Yeah, very much appreciated, and we will do that, and probably have merch for sale.
Yeah.
Because why not? We know how to do the merch thing because we've all been in bands.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Thanks for listening.
Have a great day. Yeah.